On this episode of The Spirit Stories, we are in Pendleton, Oregon, investigating the historic Pendleton House bed and breakfast. There has been a lot of paranormal activity, possibly stirred up by renovations and the discovery of 100-year-old whiskey found hidden within the home on 2 different occasions. When I was a very young child, I realized I could feel, hear, and see things that others could not. Paranormal phenomena is occurring all around us as spirits are interacting with us in our human realm. My name is Kalina Allo-Adams, and I am an intuitive medium. My quest is to bring an understanding for myself and for others as to what it is that spirits are trying to communicate to us. Join me as I interact with spirit and gather information so that I can share with you the spirit stories. The Pendleton House was built by Lowell and Minnie Rogers in 1917. Tracy Bozen and his partner Kevin purchased the home in 2012 as a bed and breakfast. They have done several renovations and have experienced strange occurrences, such as balcony doors being mysteriously opened, bathroom doors being locked from the inside, and hearing footsteps when they are alone in the home.
Hello.
Hi, Tracy.
Come on in.
Hello.
Kalina. Come on in.
Oh, this is beautiful.
Welcome to the
home.
Pendleton House.
I love this place.
Please have a seat.
Thank you.
The story goes that Mrs. Rogers finally told him we're moving into town and moving on. It's a really cool old house to begin with.
Right.
It's got a lot of history here, and the people who built the home were very well known here in town.
Since you own the home, you brought in a lot of antiques as well. A
We
lot of
have.
different pieces of antiques, and sometimes that has spirit attachment, and so that could have something to do with some of the things you've been experiencing in the house.
The previous owner, her husband passed here in the home. It was during the middle of the night, and the next morning when they went to collect his remains and bring it up to the ground level, the elevator stopped working.
Oh, really? While they were on the elevator?
Yes, they were able to extricate themselves, and we've had no problems with the elevator since then.
Wow, that's crazy. Perhaps he didn't want to leave.
But that's possible.
What was his name?
His name was Barry.
Barry. We'll see if Barry's hanging around downstairs.
Well, I tell everybody that, and I mean this in a very respectful way, that this was probably Pendleton's first party house.
And so, this leads us into our next story that we need to talk about. That it's very interesting that you have found whiskey hidden in certain places in this home. From how long ago?
The home was built in 1917, and Prohibition started in 1920.
Right.
And we have heard that the original owners really enjoyed their whiskey. So I guess it was probably about 2016, we remodeled a couple of closets in the upstairs bedrooms to put bathrooms in. We pulled out some built-in drawers, and in a corner that you really couldn't access very easily, there was a wooden box inside in the corner with 3 bottles of unopened Scotch whiskey.
Wow.
It had newspaper wrapped around it from 1930 is what the newspaper said.
1930.
But there's no real dates on the bottles that show when the whiskey was bottled or created, made.
Wow, so that's some old whiskey.
It is some old whiskey, it
That's
is.
some aged
It is.
whiskey. These are the ones that you were talking about that were hidden in the little cupboard.
Yep, a little wooden box, Teacher's Highland Green, and we found the 3 in 2016, and then just recently, about 2 weeks ago, we're putting insulation in the attic upstairs.
But yeah, so it was right here, and the tiles were probably stacked up pretty high, about like that, and just dust covered. And so I had to get to this area to work, so I started uncovering these tiles. Noticed the burlap sack, gave the bag a little tug, could hear clanking going on, so I took more tiles off and uncovered all the whiskey bottles. And it was 10 whiskey bottles stacked right here in a row, 5 on each side. I pulled the tissue paper off a little bit, looked at it, and I was just kind of in awe for a moment of what I just found.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Wow.
Nevertheless, they've never been opened.
So 2 different times.
Two different times we found this whiskey.
And it's whiskey, but they're completely different types of whiskey.
When we found the first 3 bottles, when the news hit and people were reading the story, I had a gentleman that stopped here at the front door, and
Really?
he said, when I was a kid, my grandfather and I would come here to visit the Rogers, and it would be a 5-minute visit, and at the end, Mr. Rogers would put a brown paper bag in my grandfather's hand, and we would go home. And he said, I didn't realize what it was until, obviously, when he was older.
Now we know Dad was coming and getting whiskey.
Yep.
So anything else that you've experienced?
We have a lot of footsteps in the house.
Oh, really?
We do.
You hear walking?
On the main level here, there is someone who walks from the front door
Okay.
all the way through the living room, the dining room, and then into the kitchen area. And we can hear that downstairs, thinking that someone is up here. It's actually quite a heavy gate. We needed to put some plumbing through the ceilings and the walls when we were putting the bathrooms in. We discovered that the dumbwaiter that was located in the very center of the house went to the 2nd story, and we were able to put in all of the plumbing through that cavity. But when we tore it out, the actual dumbwaiter itself, when we saw the box, the pulley held it up on top of the box next to the pulleys, was completely covered. There was a dome of old stogies, the butts of cigars that someone had smoked and then had put through a knot hole, and they would just land on top of the dumbwaiter there and just collected. So this is the dumbwaiter here that had the stogies on top of it. But there was a piece of wood identical to this one that had a knot hole in it about that big.
Right.
And then underneath here's where the dumbwaiter came up. This was the top of the dumbwaiter.
We're going to start our investigation tonight by going up in the attic where they found the last batch of the whiskey bottles and see if we can catch any spirit activity upstairs. So let's go. We're going to do a spirit box session. You can use this to form words. Is there anyone up here in the attic with us? Did anyone here hide the whiskey bottles in the attic? Who hid the whiskey bottles in the bedroom closet? Should we go downstairs?
Sure.
This room, 1880. The former owner said there was a lot of activity in this room. Is there someone in this room? What's your name? Sounded like a woman's voice. Should we move on to the next space? Should we see if we can get Barry to talk to us?
Surprise.
Surprise. Hi, surprise. Are you over here by the elevator? Who's over here by the elevator? They hear your footsteps up the stairs. Who's walking up and down the stairs?
Please.
Is there anything I can help you with? Please. Are you asking for help with something? Maybe someone's in this room and they're talking to us. Into Viola's room. This room has had a lot of activity. Hello? Is there anyone in here who wants to come and talk to me? think this was one of the daughter's rooms. Are you still here? Is your spirit still here? I think I want to do a spirit box in here.
Okay.
Evening,
Evening.
especially.
Did you lock the bathroom? Did you lock both doors to this bathroom? Kitchen's moving in there. Are you moving the keychain on the door? There's no airflow. People keep hearing footsteps going up and down the stairs. Someone is opening the cupboards in the kitchen area. Is that the maid? Is someone cooking in here? Can you say that again? This one's open. Was this one open before?
I don't remember.
Hello? Are you still hanging out in your office? How come you were hiding your cigar butts? Were you not supposed to smoke in the house?
I'm supposed to turn all the lights off and everything downstairs, and the lights are on.
How many spirits are there that are in this house wandering around? Kids are chirping down there. Didn't he say he was turning off the speakers so they wouldn't chirp? I'm pretty sure how come they're chirping?
I don't hear them.
Hey, Barry. Oh, that was the motion light that just came on. Hi. Are you hanging around downstairs? We hear you were pretty sick. How long have you been here? We didn't catch any more activity in the basement, and so we moved the cameras and the investigation upstairs into the dining room. So I have this picture of Minnie and LL Lloyd sitting just close to where I am. They were playing a game. And so I'm gonna set this here. I've got the flashlights set, one over by the whiskey. So if there's any spirits over there, you wanna go over and touch the tip of that flashlight, it will turn it on. If you wanna let us know you're here. Guarding over your whiskey, and I have another flashlight here. Is there anybody here with me tonight in this dining area? Oh, flashlight came on. Hi. So you're standing over there by the whiskey. I think you think it's funny that they found your whiskey. You can say yes by turning on one of these flashlights. Yes, you think it's funny. You turned on the flashlight. Thank you. I'm gonna turn on another device where you can make it go yes or no. You can make the arrow go up to the green to answer yes, go down to the red there to answer no. Okay. Is Minnie with us tonight? Minnie, are you here? Yes. Lowell, are you here? LL, are you still hanging out in this beautiful house? Yes. Are any of your 3 daughters still hanging out in this house with you too? Yes. Wow. Is there a spirit that is sticking around downstairs? You can come and talk to me by speaking into the recorder. Yes, there's another spirit that's sticking around downstairs. Is there more than one spirit downstairs? No. Thank you. Minnie or Lowell, did you hide the whiskey? No. Was it one of your daughters? Did one of your 3 daughters hide the whiskey in the house? Keep trying to answer me. Is it one of the daughters that hid the whiskey in the house? Up in the attic? In the closet? No one wants to fess up to hiding the whiskey. Gwendolyn, I heard a story that one of your sisters married your boyfriend. Is that true? Did one of your... No, that's not a true story. That's good to know, because that's not a good story. And the light came on. Gwendolyn, are you attached to the whiskey? Oh, the second light came on. I'll take that as a yes. So you must have hid the whiskey. Did you hide the whiskey in the closet and you hid the whiskey upstairs? No? Who hid the whiskey? It's a mystery. It's a mystery. Yes. Wow. Why does that make you laugh? They probably don't know who
They
hid the
probably want to
whiskey.
keep it a mystery.
Keep it a secret. Oh, it just said yes. They want to keep it a mystery. They don't want to say who hid the whiskey. That's funny.
Whiskey is legal now.
Yeah, whiskey is legal now. Yes.
Yes. Do you still want to keep it a mystery? Who hid the whiskey?
The light came on. I think it's a yes. Yes, you want to keep it a mystery of who hid the whiskey, even though you know it's legal. Lol, was it you that put your cigar butts in the knot hole? And, yes. So were you not supposed to smoke in the office, or were you just too lazy to? Yes, you were not supposed to smoke in the house. So you hid your cigar butts on top of the dumbwaiter. Lol, if this is you I'm talking to, do you walk across from the doorway, across the living room, and out through the kitchen? People have been hearing your footsteps. Is that you? No, that's not you. Minnie, is it you who are making the footsteps on the stairs, downstairs in the living room? Yes, it's Minnie. Minnie, is this your whiskey? Is there any more whiskey hidden in this house? The flashlight's coming on. Yes. Is that a yes? Keep trying to talk to me through the spirit box. Oh, she turned the other flashlight on. There's more whiskey hidden somewhere. Can you tell us where it's hiding? Where you hid it? Can you say that again? We'll have to tell the owners of this house that there's more whiskey to find. Is there anything else hidden? It's definitely a woman's voice. It's the same voice coming through. So that's me. You had a maid. What was your maid's name? That was an interesting voice. How come you're still hanging around? Do you just love this house so much that you want to stay here? How many spirits are living in this house right now? What the hell was that? Whoa.
Piece of wax.
Oh, okay. That scared me.
More of the flash.
But that's,
Look. More of the flash.
but that's,
More of the flash.
but that's,
Look. Flashlight.
yeah, all the flashlights. Yeah, they're all around. They all just came out. Whoa. Hi.
Cold right here.
Yeah, it's getting really cold. Do you like that this house is a bed and breakfast? It seems like when they have weddings here, there's a lot of spirit activity. Do you like the weddings? Yes. 2 lights. You like the parties. Thank you for talking with me. Tracy, I'm really excited to talk to you about our investigation. The very first word that came through was Minnie, which was very shocking. And
That doesn't surprise me a bit. She was the matriarch of the house.
yes, we did confirm that LL, Lowell, and Minnie are both still hanging around here. And it was LL that definitely did put the cigar butts through the knothole where they collected on top of the dumbwaiter. And it was because he wasn't supposed to smoke in the house. We also got confirmation that the 3 daughters are hanging around here as well. Also, Barry, the gentleman that changed address downstairs, he's hanging around just down in that basement area. I asked about the whiskey being hidden and who hid it, and no one would fess up to it. It's so fun for them. They love it.
Did they let you know if there's any more to find?
And that was the thing, is they did say that there is more hidden whiskey. There's more hidden whiskey in the house and possibly other hidden things.
Huh.
And so you guys should be on a search. You really need to look in little nooks and crannies and maybe, I mean, don't start bashing the walls down, but they said, they confirmed a couple of times that yes, there is. They are so glad how you're treating it.
That actually makes me happy because it confirms what I already knew about the energy and the feeling of the house and the unseen inhabitants that we have here. That
Right.
it's just a really good, welcoming, and mischievously funny, if you would. And so saying that this is kind of entertaining for them, that makes me feel happy. That makes me
And
feel
she
happy.
is very much, attached to the house. Most of the activity is Minnie.
Well, you can see in the photos that Mrs. Rogers has those big, clunky, old-fashioned
Yeah.
shoes, and it's,
Clomping through the house, making sure everything's in order.